They did it. They did it. They did it. Oh my god, they did that. Abby parred Joel. Go watch my last video. Oh, so many thoughts on this episode. Okay, wait. Fuck. So in this episode, we start off with Abby and seeing her perspective of things. And it's interesting because it really, I know that the show is trying to make us dislike Abby, just like how they did in the game. If you notice Caitlin Dever, sorry, the flashback gave us glances of Abby's humanity and hesitancy, because she was talking to her past self almost like, you're gonna regret doing this, what I'm about to do to Joel. I'm gonna regret this. That was my interpretation. Even in the game, that was my interpretation. Back to what I said in the beginning, in my first video, the parallels are so much more, I wouldn't say it was the same amount. It was the same amount of parallelism. In my last video, Jackson was attacked. In this reiteration, we see Dina go out on patrol with Joel. Hey, that rhymed. And Jesse and Ellie, that also rhymed. They were the ones who found Eugene's, or Jesse knew that this was Eugene's hideout. And this was quite interesting because we're getting more about Eugene, and I feel like he's gonna be a critical plot point because they're being really vague about him, and something happened, and I'm just really excited for that fucking reveal. I know that he was probably like a zombie or an infected already. He had to. I don't know why. I don't know if this connects to Abby's storyline because, like I said, it's all interconnected. Let's talk about that amazing new infected lore drop. Like, that was terrifying when Abby slid down that on top of that hill of infected that was just dormant. And then especially with the new last season, it was established that the mycelium is all interconnected, and the whole theme of this season is just interconnectedness. And oh man, I just love how everything is coming together even this early, and we are getting more character development because these characters are gonna die. Even Abby's crew, not the Fireflies, the WLF, the Wolves, they don't want to do this. In the game, Abby is kind of like, she's more assertive. Okay, let's just talk about it. Let's just not stall and just talk about it, because holy shit. I knew that they were going to make it more brutal than the game because they needed to change it up and they needed to make it more extreme in order for people to engage and watch, and that is just entertainment. I apologize to all the Joel stans, but death is kind of necessary for the plot because crazy stupid podcasts said it themselves. Shout out to them. Joel isn't the main character. I would say Ellie is more of, she's kind of like Walter White. She's an anti-hero. I personally think, because I know the game, I personally think that Abby is a better person than Ellie. I heavily believe that. Because going back to season 1, what was his name? David? He kind of clocked her with that dark heart stuff. I've seen, because of this entire series, I've watched the episode maybe 4 times now? 5? I've cried every time. The first time I mentally dissociated. Like, it didn't hit me until after the episode. Like, holy shit, they did that. And then I cried. Second watch, I knew it was coming, and I recalled how brutal the game was, and then how even more brutal this was, and then I started crying. Third watch was when Joel and Abby met. That was the third time I cried. Fourth time was last night when I was when I was trying to edit this fucking video. Insert footage here. Where are my notes? I can't record this today. I tried. I still need, it's Wednesday and I put on makeup just for this freaking video. Oh, fuck off. Okay, I'll take that as a sign that I shouldn't film. It's Wednesday, my dudes. And fifth time, because I'm editing this. Yeah, so I cried a total of 5 times. Abby finally got her speech, everyone. She finally got her speech, unlike in the game. I love how they switched it up, and then I do like how they switched up Joel's line. Let's just cut whatever bullshit speech you have and get this over with. I think that's the quote. What had sold me with her really solidifying Abby was her delivery of one of my favorite lines in the game, and probably one of my favorite deliveries in the game. You stupid old man. That, and just Caitlin Dever really sold me on her mannerisms. We're gonna see it later on, assuming we move forward with season 3 and with Yara and Lev. I love their storyline. That's why I love Abby so much, is because of how helpful and open she was to Yara and Lev. That is the key difference between Ellie and Abby, is how they would have treated those 2 characters. So with the switch up, Jackson was attacked in the first season, but they decided to attack it now, which makes sense because it's more established and they have more resources to fight. I do love that fight sequence, especially with the whole, it reminded me of Resident Evil for some reason. Maybe it was the barrels and the shooting. Everyone kept, like, all of the reactors kept saying Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. I knew Tommy wasn't gonna die. I love that they still implement the game mechanics into the TV show, because that is exactly how those bloaters die. You think they're still alive, but it's a cop-out. They tend to die slowly, and they explode at the end. which they did not explode. But I think Spores, they're focusing more on the roots system and less on spores, because it makes sense, because with spores everyone would just become infected, and with this it would make sense for a more prolonged series. I also like that with the Switch we're gonna get more character development and more of a reason, because it's kind of established that Dina and Joel are really close versus Ellie and Joel currently in the present moment. Everyone relax. There's gonna be more Pedro. There's gonna be more Joel. There's gonna be flashbacks. I've played the game. I haven't played the game, but I've watched, because I'm disabled. I'm digitally disabled. I cannot play video games, therefore I watch them. I watch others play video games, and I watch multiple. Please like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below, who is your favorite person to watch gameplays of? For me, it's the Rad Brad, because he makes me feel like I'm actually playing the game, because he doesn't talk over the cutscenes, and I like that experience. It's kind of like me playing the game, because he makes the same choices, although I'm kind of more chaotic nowadays. Yeah. Bye. See you next week. See, I'm consistent. I'm consistent.
I will call, you would say, baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same.
Okay, let's fucking do this.